The telling of what happened in Prehistoric Zoo: Season number 1 out of 3: The Raising of the Zoo: Episodes number 54 to the end of the season. Episode number 54. In this episode, Flames of the Crescent Moon renovates the Fossils Diner so that way instead of just having seating areas indoors, it now has chairs/tables on the roof, meaning that he has to put an oak fence around the borders of the formerly barren rooftop. He adds a stairway on the left of where the front door is on the outside, which he adds iron rails to in order to stop tourists from walking on the ceilings of the hallways, with there being many of those types of bars at this point. In total, Flames set up 10 oak wood tables with 30 plates on them surrounded by 48 different chairs. This episode likely lasted for 10 minutes and 34 seconds, though it may have only lasted for 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Meaning that Flames thereby would have been standing in the corner of the outer seating area closest to his farms 15 seconds before the end of the recording. Episode number 55. By the end of this episode, which lasts for about 5 minutes and 6 seconds, Bill the guard has been blown up by a creeper, which may have appeared in the Weekly Prophet that day, even though the main plot here was that Flames did another one of the zoo's events. Additionally, a villager kept yelling, "Bill," repeatedly, at least 10 different times within the next couple of days, which may have been what alerted Flames. This event was the riding of an Elasmotherium who may or may not have been unicorn, as despite how it is the only inhabitant of its cage, it is white-furred instead of being brown, like unicorn was. By a minute and 10 seconds into the episode, Flames is standing on the edge of Sarah's cage where Dylan the Dilophosaurus is for some unknown reason also present, which possibly has something to do with him not trusting mankind anymore. Then, 5 minutes 33 seconds later, Hath says, "Hi Flames Crescent Moon," which is presumably when Flames forgives it Hath for something, which was likely for him being greedy by not wanting to pay back it Hath for the materials that he lended for the founding of Prehistoric Zoo. Then, after passing the Fossils Diner, there is some sort of cutout before Flames actually is mounted on the one who is allegedly unicorn 10 minutes 46 seconds into the episode. He rides around on the rhinoceros-like animal for at least 8 seconds to 55 seconds later when the recording quits, in which time Cedric the guard who comes out at night may have accidentally transformed into a growling werewolf holding bronze or DNA. Episode number 56. Here Flames replaces the normal glass separating the enclosures from the hallways where the tourists are with refined glass, which is actually reinforced glass, even though he assumably does not realize that is its actual name. In order to get this material, which is different from regular glass as it has a rim on its borders and is much clearer, Flames would have had to have smelted dense sand in a furnace. This was created from a combination of quartz with sand that was found alongside rivers, ponds, or oceans. He has quartz in his possession at this time, as at the end of his series the contents of his chests are a string, a Bones music disc, a redstone torch, a chainmail helmet with dark green durability, 25 sand, 2 cactus dye, 6 feathers, 6 wood javelins, 6 stone tablets, 8 spider eyes, 2 roses, 10 nether wart, 6 bone meal, a dead bush, 2 bottles of glass, 10 essences of chicken, 46 glowstone, 2 skull blocks, 64 dirt, a piece of soul sand, 48 bones, a cauldron, 45 sugar canes, 4 netherrack, 1 gunpowder, a gun beacon, 4 chicken eggs, branches tooth, 16 stone javelins, 16 wood javelins, a stack of paper, 16 more wooden javelins, 3 drums, 12 books, 21 paper, a harp, 19 fossils, a book with a quill, 3 signs, an oak door, a boat, 16 eggs, 12 stone javelins, 2 Phalosaurus flesh, 2 gunpowder, a stack of eggs, 4 bookum quills, 16 oak signs, another boat, a stack of glass blocks, 16 more signs, and a stack of eggs, a stack of fences, another stack of fences, a stack of lapis, 32 orange dye, 22 light gray, 48 gray dye, a stack of cobblestone walls, 37 bones, 29 ink sacks, 32 rose red dyes, 4 leather, a stack of leather, a piece of dirt, a 64 stack of fence, a 64 stack of wood fence, 60 cactus green, 9 cocoa dye, 14 signs, 12 wheat seeds, a piece of black wool, 2 gunpowder, 35 rotten flesh, 3 sandstone, 2 orange wool, a stack of sandstone, 4 chiseled sandstone, a stack of gold ingots, a furnace, a stack of stone, 5 feathers, a silver 100 currency coin, a saddle, 13 thatch pieces, 6 thatch stairs, a stack of redstone dust, 2 gravel, a stegosaurus agonizer, 14 sand, 15 gold ingots, another saddle, 5 string, 12 brown wool, barely used shears, 16 snowballs, and 7 snowballs, the 20 ingots of gold, 6 oak normal-sized signs, 2 empty mugs, 24 more glass blocks, 19 flint, 10 skull blocks, 4 books, a stack of bones, 53 sandstone, 1 vertebrae, 2 volcanic ash, 4 eggs, a stack of sand, 48 sand, 16 lapis, diamond horse armor, chiseled sandstone, 2 smooth sandstone, 26 bones, 2 orange wool, a sandstone stair, a leg bone, a sarcosuchus foot, 6 cacti, 9 coal, 7 cactus greens, a raw chicken, 4 string, 2 smooth stone, an arm bone from a dinosaur, 10 quartz pieces, 40 netherrack, 3 pottery shards, 28 gravel, a stack of bone meal, 20 bone meal, a stack of sand, 2 fossilized zamet seeds, a bit of cephalodoxus seeds which were also fossilized, a dinopedia, a wood button, a hardly used whip, 12 sticks, and 52 dirt. 21 seconds into the so-called video, Flames was standing in the cage of Nathan looking into where Dew would have been, although there were alterations later made to PZ so that way it is harder to recognize. One of the informational signs about the habitat/diet/size/etymology of the animal, in this case mentioning the Holocene period, is missing, plus one of the torches has been torn off the wall. At that moment only a quarter of the old glass has been replaced by the new kind, although this process is sped up as it goes along. From there, Flames goes from renovating Nathan's cage to long snouts, then Luke and Malls, and so on. Episode number 57. In this episode, Fred the Guard has begun to patrol the Supreme Arch Executive of blah blah blah's house instead of the gate to Thog Creek, even though the main event of the episode is that Flames hatches Queenly, another Tyrannosaurus Rex, in the same cage as Kingly, making her the first dinosaur in the zoo that Flames has 2 of in the same species. 5 minutes and 12 seconds or so later, Flames is standing at one end of the enclosure where Kingly is shoving his face into the iron wall, at which point he has a dinosaur egg, 7 steak, and 32 coins. Then, 4 minutes and 19 seconds later is exactly when Queenly is hatched. She is facing towards the glass barrier where Kingly is looking, to which Flames says, "Queenly." 10 minutes and 6 seconds in, Flames is standing right in front of her when he says this, with both Rexes looking at him and Queenly having her head slanted down even though they all seem to be positioned in the same spots. After a guard with either an unspecified name or no name at all says, "Ow. I hate leg cramps." The episode ends at about 7 minutes and 43 seconds later. Episode number 58. The guards who protect Thog Creek get some stricter unspecified rules by this time, when Flames does an event at Prehistoric Zoo because he has run out of new dinosaurs to hatch, even though it isn't remembered what this event was. The episode, which likely includes some taming of an animal and / or the riding of said animal, lasts for 12 minutes and 9 seconds, although that animal wouldn't have been long snout, ow, Queenly or Kingly. Episode number 59. By the time that this recording starts, the farming plot with wheat on the west half and potatoes growing on the eastern half is removed from Thog Creek where it originally stood at the first curvature of the gravel path next to Sam or Bam's house. Other than that, this was when Flames did another unknown event which lasted for no longer than 2 minutes 57 seconds. After custom NPCs update available, click here. Episode number 60. In this finale of the raising of the zoo, Priest Paul's original church has been taken down and replaced by a cathedral, even though it is not in the same spot opposite the dark oakwood bridge over the creek itself. Rather, the new cathedral is located like 2 hectometers away from the previous spot, to later be filled in with another guardhouse off of the spoke of the largest of the square gravel path blocks, on the edge in between the urban area and the open desert. This new church is still composed mostly of cobblestone like the previous one, however there are also the windows on each longer sides to the left and right on either side of the central statue of Priest Paul, which looks just like him despite being a generic figure with brown buttons for eyes and a sloped head who is holding up now of his hands. The windows are not fully normal glass, as golden blocks are used to represent the hilt and podium of a sword instead of the yellow stained glass used for the light in the image of the tinted glass. Other than lines of candles on the walls, the other notable part of the rectangular-ish tapered cathedral is Paul's quarters at one end, which can be stood upon. 2 minutes 57 seconds into this episode is when Priest Paul says, "Hello Flames Crescent Moon," then says it again twice right after. Assumably this is as Flames goes to greet him as he sees the new church, before he walks out onto the gravel expansion outside when he says, "And that, my friend, is the end of Season 1, 1837 seconds in, after another, his house. So beautiful." 22 seconds later, the episode and season ends. Episode number 61. Although this episode was only planned and never actually done, Flames of the Crescent Moon was going to get a new prehistoric creature, however there weren't any known extinct animals left to revive back to life. Episode number 62. This one would have been like the last Lost episode with the exception that Bill the guard was set to be blown up by this time instead. Episode number 63. In this non-existent episode, the plans were the same as episode 61's were. Episode number 64. Fred patrols S.A.'s house instead of Gate. Flames gets queenly. Episode number 65. The cathedral would have instead been introduced instead, in addition to some regular new addition to Prehistoric Zoo. Episode number 66. This was the same as the other episodes, except for this was when guards like Fred, Pablo, Julius, Scott, and so on would have had more stringent requirements. Episode number 67. Flames would have caused some new prehistoric creature to be born here if he hadn't ran out of new discovered species to use in PZ. Episode number 68. This one was going to be just an average episode except for how this was when the wooden farm space was going to have been removed. Episode number 69. Flames would have obtained a new prehistoric creature in this never done episode. Episode number 70. Flames of the Crescent Moon would have obtained a new prehistoric creature in this never done episode.